In today's fast-paced environment, how much importance do you actually give to the hygienic safety of your surroundings? Bacterial infections such as MRSA, norovirus, and staph, amongst others, are a constant threat to you and your workforce. And this can be attributed to the inability of even the best traditional disinfection techniques to target the source of the problem. Enter Sanondaf, a new and innovative company set up to specifically address concerns with traditional disinfection techniques by employing revolutionary and completely touchless disinfection technologies and solutions. Traditional products and application methods don't always reach critical areas that are meant to be disinfected. Sanondaf's technology is able to achieve a kill rate of 99.99% or higher. This is achieved by targeting the source directly using our own patented disinfected products with our own airborne fogging devices and electrostatic spraying methods, providing better coverage, no cross-contamination, and all by using less personnel, resulting in less costs and disruption to your business. In addition, our machines do not create a wet fogging or aerosol process, thereby allowing it to be applied to a much wider range of surfaces, including electronics. It also takes less time to disinfect, whilst being suitable to disinfect a wide array of differently sized areas, all with TGA approval, amongst others. These attributes make Sanondaf an ideal solution for various sectors, ranging from health, hospitality, marine, business, gyms, education centers, and transportation.
In the fitness industry, hygiene is essential. Now I want peace of mind. I want to know that each and every customer is training in a germ-free environment. And this is what Sanondaf does.
Our hospital has been using hydrogen peroxide fogging as part of our terminal disinfection protocol for rooms where we had housed patients with Clostridium difficile and especially with patients who had multi-resistant gram-negative organisms such as Klebsiella pneumoniae.
With over 140 children attending our center, it is of utmost importance to have high levels of hygiene. That is why we chose Sanondaf as our preferred partner, to make sure that the center is disinfected with the right products and techniques on the market.
At Sanondaf, it's our goal to improve the quality of life of the most vulnerable by containing the spread of infection. This has driven us to develop solutions for the most prevalent issues with current technologies. Contact Sanondaf now to discover how it can benefit you further.
So in this new environment, can franchisees of Sanondaf make money?
Absolutely. And if you think about, the core purpose of what we do, we kill infections, and infections have been here for thousands of years before us. Infections probably started life. Two little microorganisms got together, and for some reason life started, and then that life ended up becoming human at some point. And you don't need to look for a doomsday scenario or an internet conspiracy theory to understand that an infection could wipe out the entire world. We saw it on TV, we saw a version of it with COVID, and COVID is simply a flu. It's something that gets into your lungs, it gets into your throat, and it can cause you damage. And it did. It affected, 1 to 2% of people in a really, really severe way. But when you look at some of the higher risk pathogens, we've got Ebola in West Africa just now. There's a thing called Marburg fever in West Africa. We had a monkeypox, which said wouldn't move from one country to the next. And almost within a week, it was in 40 countries. In the UK, we had 5 cases, and then we had 500, and then we had 5,000. And people just didn't know what to do about it, because there are literally, hundreds of variants of every virus and flu and infections that you can think of. Let me just read something if I can for you, because it's a paper that came in from the World Health Organization just a couple of days ago. Everybody is now tuned to understand viruses and bacteria because, One thing the pandemic has done is educate people that you need to stop touching your face all the time. You need to kind of, be hygienic. You need to make sure your hands is the biggest transfer point. So take a little bit more care in what you do. So it's been really educational. But World Health Organization, a very respected institution, there are people there who spend years just studying things that can harm human beings. That's their being in life. You do what you do, I do what I do. There are people who sit on a much bigger platform and they analyze data. And then it's their job to tell us that here's something that might cause you harm. So please, please look out for it. And this paper came out a few days ago. It's about fungus or a fungal disease. And fungal diseases are everywhere, but we don't talk about it because it's no glamorous. And, it's never really been a major threat, but fungal things are there at a very simple level. When you get athlete's foot, when you get thrush, when you get cystitis, these are fungal infections and they can poison your blood and they can make you very ill. The World Health Organization put out a paper that says drug-resistant bacterial infections kill 1.3 million people annually and contribute to nearly 5 million deaths a year. That's just drug-resistant bacteria kills 5 million people a year. And it has a larger impact on countries that have limited resources. Now, a limited resource could mean a free healthcare system, because not every country has a free healthcare system. If you get ill and your healthcare is free, then you simply go to the hospital and they fix it. If you get ill and you have to pay for healthcare and you don't have the money, then you've got a problem. If you can't buy medicines or vaccines or something that will help you get better, then you can't do anything about it. But so many organisms are now becoming drug resistant, which means even if you do go to hospital and they say, oh dear, you've got this here, but the drugs don't work. We do not have a drug that cures that. So we need to depend on your body's immune system waking up and kicking in. So they've come up with a list of 11 fungal infections, and 4 of them have been classified as supercritical, which means here is a fungus we've been watching for a number of years. It's now jumped into the world. So there's a thing called Candida auris, which was previously only identified in Japan, and it's now spread its way across the world. And it is a super infectious fungus, and it's causing a huge amount of alarm because we don't have any drugs that fix it. So when healthy people get it, their immune system will probably deal with it. But when people who aren't as healthy, they're immune compromised, they're going through cancer treatment, they have another medical condition which knocks out their immune system, their blood count is low. If this thing gets to you, you're going to become quite ill. And then you put a strain on your family, your employer, the healthcare system of your country. So these things are here. Nobody is predicting they are disappearing tomorrow. So back to the original question, now the pandemic's gone. Now the pandemic's gone, I can actually get 5 or 6 hours sleep. But we've been treating infections and disinfecting things for 10 years before the pandemic started. So hospitals always need us. Laboratories always need us. If you operate the control room in a power station and you have 10 people sat there monitoring systems 24 hours a day and one person gets sick, you call in us and we come and kill that infection so that nobody else gets sick. So whether we have a pandemic or not, you will always have a need for a disinfection process to kill infections before it harms people. Our business is completely immune to any recession, any type of world conditions. If it gets to the stage that we don't care about infections and don't deal with them, then that's it. We're as well all going home.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely right. And the current situation changes so rapidly today too, right? And we all talk about globalization, but globalization also has its detrimental effects as well. in terms of spreading germs and infectious diseases and the like. So it would seem that the demand for this type of service and solution can only rise, in the foreseeable future.